which gives overall settings for the operation of MPanel. We can specify that new objects are drawn on a specific layer, or that they just use whatever the current layer name is in Rhino. We can choose the new object color to be black, white, by layer, or preserve color. Preserve color in particular can be helpful. Let's say that we're going to panel this mesh and that we have it set to preserve color. The mesh of course is blue, and when we panel the mesh it will produce a blue panel, and this can help in identifying which meshes came from, which panels came from which mesh. On the old object, that is the mesh in this case, we can choose whether it is coloured red, which enables us to see the effects of any changes, or see immediately which is the old object and which is the new. We can say don't change the colour, or we can say delete the old object immediately. For both red and don't change the colour, there is a delete old button, which can then be used to delete the old object, like so. Two other functions are that when we are making a selection, we can choose to select by a particular layer name. And this can be useful when we have a complicated drawing. In this area here, for instance, we have a number of elements which are on the layer default, and then some elements, such as this mesh just here and these 2 points just here, which are on the layer called MPanel. And if we want to panel those, we can have filter by layer name turned on and set to MPanel. We can then select everything in that area, run the panel tool, and the panel will be created because all of the other entities which weren't on the layer called MPanel are ignored. Now, often you can achieve the same results with really a little more control using the Rhino tools, and in particular the Rhino hide objects tools to hide objects which are on a particular layer. But there are situations where it's useful to be able to use that setting. And the last setting I want to mention is the auto scroll window. When the auto scroll window is on, then any time that your cursor is not over MPanel Production, or that MPanel Production isn't in the middle of doing a particular tool, then the tool window is rolled up. It typically then fits inside of the Rhino text area up here, and of course any time you need to use it, you just take your cursor over MPanel Production and it rolls down again. This is of particular help for people who have to work on fairly small screen sizes, as MPanel Production can take up quite a lot of the Rhino window